everyone. I know it's been a couple weeks since I posted just some busy stuff, some transitioning, and yeah, sometimes you just get carried away in that. But I've had a big, just a life moment happen, and one of those authentic times that I am able to use the tools that I have, and not even just use them, but I'm still pretty young, and a lot of the time some of my life experiences are helping me sort of create tools, because I think we always are going to need gathering tools through our life to help cope with things that are going on or situations, and if you haven't ever dealt with that situation, then how do you really know what tool you need, or what are the chances you're going to have a tool for every single thing in life? So I kind of was going through this big identity crisis this week because I just had a really hard week in my job, which I'm pretty sure I've had a ton of hard weeks in this environment, but it just kind of, I don't know, for some reason this week just kind of took me a little bit over the edge. And I kind of realized that, like, I've always, and I think everyone does this, prided myself on having a really solid plan that lasts like forever. So it's like, oh, I'm going to go, I'm going to finish high school and I'm going to go to this school, and this school will allow me to go here, and this school and that will allow me to go here. And I've always been able to sort of fall back on the fact that I have this security in whatever plan that I have created. And this week I just realized that I wasn't sure if I wanted to be locked in to my original plan for the next 10 years. Because just a lot has changed since I made that plan. And I just kind of realized that I had really put a lot of my identity into the fact that I had this stability. And I think everyone wants stability, but at the same time, if it becomes kind of a security blanket, it kind of takes you away from sort of the unpredictability of life and of how you're going to change and how your priorities are going to change when you get into a relationship, or when you actually go into the next phase of the plan and it's not what you thought it was, kind of like what happened to me. And I just realized that I had really been wrapped up in the fact that I had this plan, and I felt safe in that. But it kind of backfired this week, and it felt like I was really trapped in it. And I was like, no one is telling me I have to do this and that I have to make this plan the way it is but me. Like, I'm the only one telling myself that. And I can make the decision to stray off of that path if that's what I want. And there was some freedom in that, but there was also like this intense fear that was coupled with it, because I'm like, I have no idea what that looks like. I haven't ever thought about a plan outside of this one. And that was really scary. And so I've only honestly thought outside of this plan, the original plan that I had, which is basically to stay in the military I've only thought about the plan outside of the military for a couple days, and not super hard because it gives me some anxiety. So I have to give myself grace. Like, I've been planning this other thing since I graduated high school. And that's what my plan was, stay in the Army and do all my stuff in the mental health world through the Army. And so I haven't really had near the years to invest in a different plan. But I think for me, it's just, I kind of can be a hyper planner, and I think that comes from or just a wanting to feel like there's some control. And I think that's kind of what people that plan a lot are looking for. They're looking for safety, control, predictability, consistency, and that's just not really the way I feel like life goes. You know, like there's so many things that change, and I kind of just want to be more open to that. And so I kind of saw that I was really in this rigid space this last week, and I saw that I wanted to start being a little more open with the way that I'm framing my identity and my future. So this is totally still in the making. This tool is for me. It's really kind of an epiphany moment. But I think that a lot of people can relate to it, especially if you're in like a military world and you have like a dual military relationship where you feel like you have to be 10 steps ahead all the time to protect your relationship, to protect your family, whatever it is that you're trying to protect and control and keep consistent. And it's just like, you just can't do all of that all the time. It's just exhausting. And it's, you know, and I realized when I called the people that support me, my family and my partner, like all of them were like, hey, like we're here for you, whatever you decide. And I just realized that like I was the one that was really kind of suffocating myself, and it wasn't really anyone else. And you have to give yourself grace, like, at the end of the day, because it's not like I don't blame myself for doing that, because I think that everyone in this world, you know, especially as a young person, you want to feel like safe and you want to feel like financially free. And I think I made a lot of those decisions out of an honest place, but now that I see how much it kind of made me feel really trapped, I'm just gonna take a couple steps back and really just work on being a little more in the present and letting things pan out, and just keeping options open and not being like, well, I have to do this because then I'm gonna do this and then it's gonna be this and then I'm gonna be safe. And it's just like, I want to have a little bit more of a multiple choice list, and I don't need to have 15 plans from those multiple choices. So yeah, just a big revelation moment for me. And I hope that I know that a lot of other people go through similar situations and they feel like they have to do something, especially in the military world, because there's always that overhanging thought of getting out or staying in. And so I feel like in the military we have a lot more pressure, but it doesn't all need to be figured out every day. And I think when you allow yourself to sort of ebb and flow and not think that you have to have a really solid plan all the time, there's just more peace. Because I just was not feeling at peace last week because I thought I was like stuck in something, and I'm really not. And so yeah, I can't say that I have like a finite steps to this, but that's kind of the point of this podcast, is just to share different experiences I'm having, especially being with the military community, and hope that it shines some light on people's experiences, and that if nothing else, it helps people not feel as alone in sort of the indecisiveness they're feeling, or the suffocating nature they're feeling by all the plans they made. Whatever it is, you know, you're not alone in that feeling, and people are going through it with you. So yeah, hopefully my next episode, I'll be able to tell you guys, this is the answer, but probably not. And I think that's part of my personality too. I want to be that person with the answers. And I'm kind of realizing that I'm still like figuring out what the questions are. And I think that's where I want to start focusing, is more on the questions, like what now? What are my possibilities? What are my options? Instead of, this is what I'm going to do. This is what's next. This is what it is. And I keep thinking that's going to make me feel like safe, but it becomes like a brick wall to the present and to into the options that I have, into life things that are going to pop up, and I feel like really overwhelmed by it. So I'm glad I realized this, because I do believe I have control to make myself feel better about this, and I was the one that was putting the pressure on myself at the end of the day. And yeah, so I hope that you guys can relate, or someone that can relate, and I hope everyone has a great weekend and a great Halloween weekend. Super exciting. I love this holiday. So I will talk to you guys later. Hopefully I can post another episode sometime next week, or I'm not completely sure yet, but yeah. So I hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will talk to you later.